I'm a bad guy. Say what you will about that Billie Eilish song. It's being used in the marketing for Brightburn, a movie that is opening up this weekend, so let's talk about it. Brightburn is a movie that a lot of people have been anticipating, myself included. We saw the trailers for this, the teasers, where it made it seem like it's going to be a movie about basically an evil Superman. And I think most of us got on board with that premise. It looked dark, it looked violent, and well, it is. It's the story of a child who has superpowers, and instead of using these powers for good, he uses them for evil. Okay, the premise for this on IMDb says, what if a child from another world crash landed on Earth, but instead of becoming a hero to mankind, he proved to be something far more sinister. And boy, he does become sinister. And this movie plays out a little bit different than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to show us pretty much like a mirror image of the first Superman movie, of him coming to Earth and then him growing up. But it doesn't. It sets itself up a little bit differently, and I enjoyed that. A lot of the stuff about him being a kid and stuff was shown in flashbacks, so it was not quite linear in that aspect, and that was fascinating. What's the standout here? Obviously, the kid going mad and killing people and doing a whole bunch of horrible things. If you were hooked by that premise in the trailers, you're gonna love some of the stuff that you see in this film. But for me, the standout is Elizabeth Banks and her performance, because as much as she tries to care for this kid, we see her disappointment and its crushing defeat of knowing that her son has gone and done these terrible things. And her performance, I think, is the number one thing that stands out for me. Elizabeth Banks knocks it out of the park. The kid, for his age, did fairly well with this. I mean, the visual effects take over in the flying stuff and all that stuff, but this pays you off. This pays off for you if that's what you wanted. You wanted to see him fly around with this weird mask on, and I can't spoil it for you guys, but it does. Those are significant payoffs, and it does it really, really well. Now, what could I say about the bad things? Well, it's fast. It's a fast movie. I think it just clocks in about an hour and a half. The pacing is pretty quick, but there's some things that you would like to have a little bit drawn out, a little bit more time to marinate on. But it's tight, and it's a dark film, guys, and it's not something that you're going to walk out of feeling like Avengers. It's not going to be like that. It's going to be like, did I just see that? Wow. Oh my God. Ooh. And then you just have to digest it. You're going to have to come home and go, wow, did I like that? Yeah, I did. I liked what I saw, but I'm not sure if I liked the way that it made me feel afterwards. And I think a lot of it had to do with Elizabeth Banks and her performance. And it goes back to my highlight there with saying that she does a great job in this. And it's a movie that, if you get the chance, go out and see it this weekend, because it's going to be having a tough time with Avengers, John Wick, Aladdin's coming out this weekend. I think this movie needs to have a good showing from the audience to say that, hey, we like this kind of stuff. We like to see this other kind of abstract storytelling, because this is something that you're going to look back on and say, I'm glad that they made that movie. Yeah, I'm glad they made that movie. And I hope it's successful enough that maybe we might be able to see some kind of a sequel to this, which would be just totally fascinating. All right. Does it crack my top 5 of the year? Yes, it does. It does crack my top 5. However, it's going to only be in the 4th spot, just under John Wick. Yep. Shazam? Is Shazam out? Yeah. Wow, Shazam is out. So, obviously, I like this better than Shazam. And that's fascinating. It's my number 4 spot. And, well, that's 2 dark films. Number 4 is Brightburn, and number 5 is Velvet Buzzsaw, another dark film that if you like Brightburn, you'll like Velvet Buzzsaw too, because that's the same kind of audience that they're shooting for. My overall score for Brightburn is an 8 out of 10. Here's the score sheet. It's an 8 out of 10 for Brightburn. It's a definite, it's a must-see. It's, if it's something that got you interested by the trailer, it got you interested, then you're going to want to see this movie. All right, that's it. My name is James, and you're watching Mirror Domains. If you've liked what you've seen, please hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Billie Eilish. Speaking about that Billie Eilish song, I'm glad that it only played in the credits and they didn't actually try to use it in the soundtrack. The soundtrack is actually pretty dark, and I'm going to have to revisit that. Yeah.